Hello everyone, I'm Michaela Kathleen, and in today's video I'm doing the Winter Essentials book tag for the first day of winter. So jumping right in, the first prompt is crackling fire. Name a cold character who warmed up by the end of the book. And for this one I'm going with Uva from A Man Called Uva by Frederick Bachman. Uva is a curmudgeonly old man who kind of shuts people out. But at the beginning of the book, some new neighbors move in next door, and over the course of the book, you see him become closer to this young family, and it warms both his heart and yours. Next, prompt number 2 is snowflakes. Name a book with a cast of unique characters. And for this one, I'm going with Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. We've got 6 main characters here, and they are all so unique and have such interesting backstories, and they're all such interesting characters. Of course, there's Kaz, who easily could have been my answer for the first question. He has a really sad backstory, and it has made him pretty closed off, much like Uva, but over the course of the duology, you see him warm up to his fellow crows. And then there's my personal favorite, Inej. Again, tragic backstory. All the crows have one, but she's so strong despite her history. And then of course, our 4 other crows are also equally interesting and deep and unique. Prompt number 3 is gingerbread family. Pick a fictional family you would like to be a part of. And for this one, I'm going with The Family from Wonder by R.J. Palacio. This is just such a lovely, warm-hearted family unit that I think anyone would be lucky to be a part of. This is a middle grade novel that is just full of heart. It is about a little boy with facial deformities, and he's going to school for the first time, and he is understandably very nervous about it, and his family helps him through it so beautifully. Prompt number 4 is Blizzard. Pick a confusing book. And for this one, I'm going with Bridge of Clay by Markus Zusak. I had trouble coming up with a book that really confused me, or that I really had a lot of trouble following. But this one, I feel like I maybe occasionally lost track of who the characters were, but mostly I was just confused about what the point of this book was. It's so long and rambling, and I feel like doesn't have much plot. I was also confused by not enjoying the book because he wrote one of my favorite books of all time, The Book Thief. So this one was confusing for me, but not in the traditional sense. Prompt number 5 is gift giving. Show off the last book that was gifted to you. And I think probably the last book or books that were gifted to me were the ones I got for Christmas last year. So I decided I'll just show one of them because I'm planning to read it soon. I'm finally getting around to it. And that is Lovely War by Julie Berry. This was the most exciting book I got for Christmas last year. The concept sounds so awesome for me. It is a World War I and II novel that is narrated by Aphrodite, which sounds very similar to one of my favorite books of all time that I just mentioned, The Book Thief, which is a World War II novel narrated by Death. So I think this one is right up my alley, and I really expect it to be a 5-star read. Prompt number 6 is Snowball. Name the largest book you've ever read. And I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure whichever the longest book in the Game of Thrones series is probably the longest book I've ever read. These guys are chonkers. I'm fairly certain they're the only books that I've read that break 1,000 pages, which this first one does not, but some of the later ones in the series do. Prompt number 7 is wrapping paper. Show off your most beat up book, which I think for me this one is The Last Book in the Universe by Rodman Philbrick. I've got tape on the edges, fearing the day that the cover falls off. I think the only book of mine that competes with this one for being this beat up would be Harry Potter 3, which actually looks more beat up because literally the paper on the edges has torn off, but I don't think the cover is as close to falling off as this one. Prompt number 8 is Christmas lights. Pick a book with a colorful cover. And for this one, I'm going with Windfall by Jennifer E. Smith. This one doesn't necessarily have a lot of colors, but it's very bright, and the confetti makes me think of the holidays as well. And I'm pretty sure this book at least partially takes place at New Year's. So this is just the book that popped into my head for this prompt. Prompt number 9 is ice skating. Pick a book where the plot is all over the place. And for this one, I'm going with the Twilight series by Stephanie Meyer. I don't feel like this so much applies to the first book. In fact, I feel like there's not enough plot for how long the first book is. But after the first book, the plot of this series gets pretty wild. It is crazy, some of the stuff that happens throughout this series. So yeah, I'm going with the Twilight series for this one. Prompt number 10 is Christmas tree. Pick your favorite character of all time, which this was a tough one. There were a lot of contenders. Hermione is an obvious one. Uva, as I mentioned earlier. But I think I have to go with Kath from Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I just have so much in common with Kath. She just feels so real to me. I connect with her personally more than any other character, and so I think I have to go with her as my favorite character of all time. And finally, prompt number 11 is Christmas Star. Pick a book you look forward to rereading every year, which I don't really have any books that I reread for sure every single year. I don't have any books that I like read around Christmas time or anything like that, but certainly the book that I reread the most often, because it is my second favorite book of all time and it's very short, so very easy to reread, is The Last Book in the Universe by Rodman Philbrick, which explains why the cover is falling off, because I've had this one since I was a child and I have definitely reread it countless times, even if I don't necessarily get to it every single year. So yeah, that was it for the Winter Essentials book tag. I hope you enjoyed watching. Happy winter, happy holidays, and now onto the quote for today's video, which today I have one from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And it goes, "Not that I condone fascism, or any ism for that matter. Isms, in my opinion, are not good. A person should not believe in an ism. He should believe in himself." Thanks for watching. Remember, words matter.